all of you. I am Poonam Purohit, lecturer at Mechanical Engineering Department, Parul Polytechnic Institute. And today I'm here to introduce today's host, Dr. Pankaj Gajbie sir. He has done PhD in Mechanical Engineering and he has done MBA in Marketing, and currently he is working as assistant professor at uh, just a minute. सर पूरा फुल नेम बोलना पड़ेगा ना.
चले भाई बोलो चालू हो गया. बच्चे जो इमोट जाएंगे.
He is currently working as an assistant professor in Karamveer Dada Saheb Kannamwar College of Engineering, which is located at Nagpur, Maharashtra. And despite of such an excellent professional synopsis, he is a very good singer, and he has won many awards in singing competition. And one more thing I would like to add is that it was my privilege to share the same educational institute with him, as he was my senior in graduation. Thank you, sir. And today he is going to deliver the webinar on the topic New Eras in Mechanical Engineering. So over to you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Poonam Purohit ma'am. And I think there is Boy sir also who has communicated and coordinating this particular event. First of all, I would like to thank the whole staff and management of the university who has been honored me by inviting me to talk. I think Poonam ma'am, you close your mic.
Yes, sir.
You close your mic. The voice is coming from your mic. Just off your mic.
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to thank the management and the staff of Parul University who has honored me by inviting for this particular talk. And special thanks to Poonam Purohit ma'am again, that she has just mentioned we share the same alma mater, that is SGGS Government College of Engineering, Nanded. And it is the pandemic time which we all are facing nowadays, and there are some possibilities and impossibilities actually. And because of this impossibility which the corona pandemic has given us, only that has stood an opportunity for all of us so that we can meet. And it was an opportunity for me to deliver a particular seminar for you all guys. I think there are students here from a mechanical engineering background, and it is very important for us because the whole scenario has been changing. There was a time when we were graduated in the year 2000, and the 2K bug was coming up, and everybody was frightening at our time that we don't know, the whole computer system will get crashed or something like that. So it was 20 years before when we got graduated in the year 2000, and those people who graduated at the same time, they got feared of this 20K bug, and there were rumors like the things are going to get changed, the computer system will get fall off and everything. But for last 20 years, nothing has been happened, and the automation and the computer application areas in all the category of working of engineering has been increased to many folds. Okay? So nothing has happened, but now in the year 2019, when the corona pandemic came, and we all been knowing that this has been putting up a different era in every engineering stream now, because people can't gather, people can gather together, people can't work together in this pandemic because the virus is very much susceptible of spreading if 2 or 3 people work within 2 or 3 meters differences. And because of that, it was a need and era which has been coming up, that why we need to have more and more automation to be included in our manufacturing facilities, manufacturing industries. So there is always one thing you have to understand, that whenever human beings are in need, the technology has been evolved. So right from whenever we were in the very primitive stages, where we used to work or we used to get our food only by hunting. Then also at that time we used to produce a lot of utensils or a lot of different types of knives when we were very primitive. So the mechanical era in this particular field was very old, and that is why we always say that there are three basic branches which are there, that is mechanical, civil, and electrical engineering. And then we have application branches like computer, electronics, telecommunication. And now there are new branches which has been evolved and which is getting momentum after this pandemic. That is, you might have heard about artificial intelligence, machine language learning. Similarly, we also are being able to give new courses to the students which are coming up, that is cloud computing, data management, data science engineers. So these are the new positions and new opportunities where this pandemic has given the opportunities for the students, and the new courses are being evolving continuously. Previously, it was thought that in year 2019 that this pandemic is going to end very soon, but now with the new variants which are coming up, alpha, beta, lambda, and I don't know how many variants there will be again. So we can't say that we are going to finish this suddenly. So the way it has erupted suddenly, but it will go off slowly. So we can't waste our time in waiting for the things to become up, or we can't wait for the things to get normal naturally. So that is why we have to face this situation, and we have to come up with a new era in every engineering field has come up. And now we are having all composite type of studies which are going on. So now it is not like if you are doing mechanical engineering previously 50 years before, 25 years before, something like that. So it was a plain mechanical engineering subjects which you are offered and you are trained to pursue. But now in this particular scenario, and the momentum of computer and electronics engineering has been gained a lot. And because of this pandemic, they have already fueled their increase in their applications. So now every engineering branch has been a hybrid. It's been coming up as a composite engineering nowadays. So the new era which I'm talking about in mechanical engineering will be focusing on all the aspects which I have just told you. It is focusing on how the different engineering perspective and trends are coming up in mechanical engineer. And we as a mechanical engineer should be ready to accept the various engineering knowledge which are different from our core branches, because now the phenomenon of the core branches will get changed. Now we are having a hybrid branches. Now we'll be having the knowledge of computer system. We also have to get the knowledge of electronic system, because now the new era of mechanical engineering will be talking about the automation, artificial intelligence, and the machine learning processes. Okay, and there are various revolutions which has been put up in mechanical engineering, which I'll be talking about in my discussion. First of all, I'm in my this seminar, but I just have one last question for the organizer. Should I proceed in the same language which I'm doing, or should I use Hindi, or should I go for a hybrid English language? Please give me a feedback, so I'll proceed further. Okay, so I think if Poonam ma'am is able to hear my query, then please.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Should I proceed in English, or should I use English language, Hindi and English mixed together?
No, sir. You can proceed in English. No problem.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, your screen is not present, huh?
Yeah, I'm still about to present.
Okay, okay, fine, fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm presenting my screen so that everybody will able to see what the topic I'm dealing with. And already a lot of introduction I have given about the things which are coming up. Okay, so okay, now I have a full screen shared to you all students, and the topic which I have already mentioned is a new era in mechanical engineering, and this is what we'll be talking about: the revolution. What is the particular thing which we know by the name of Industry 4.0? What is the fourth revolution of industry which is going on? And what are the things, the function, the components which we are have to be ready. Then I'll be addressing about what are the situation of employment, what is the situation of business orientation, and what are the things which we have to be ready for the new prospectus which is coming up in our branch, that is mechanical engineering. So guys, we start with the new revolution which has been named as Industry 4.0, and it has been termed as the fourth industrial revolution which has came up. And as I have already told you that it is gaining more and more momentum with the current pandemic. And now the things are getting changed. Initially, when we are talking about, we used to refer the year as BC and AD, before Christ and after death. And now the whole world will get into the scenario that before Corona and after Corona. So there has to be a very drastic changes which are coming up in every branches, and so as with this pandemic, the mechanical engineering has to get adjusted itself to various other things. So we'll be just discussing about a previous history of the fourth industrial revolutions which has been arrived. The Industry 1.0, which was has holding the particular core areas of mechanical system and the steam and water power used, the engines which has been start up, small machines which has been start up, this all mechanization process without automation was leading to, which we can say, the Industry 1.0. Then after some years, about 20, 25, 30 years, we have started with mass production. Assembly lines were used, and where the idea of a big manufacturing units came up. And here what we have started with, the manufacturing of automobiles has been started in our industrial revolution second. And various big industries like ordnance factories, like steel factories, like automobile industries, like casting processes, all this manufacturing industry has been started from this particular revolution, that is Industry 2.0. With another revolution which has taken place about, I can say, surely 50 years before, where the computer interference in the manufacturing has started, or I can say in another word that the computer application in the manufacturing industry has been started. And the things which has been come up in this particular Industry 3.0 was the advent of your NC machine, which was then converted to DNC machine, which then nowadays we know by the name of CNC machine, that is computer numerical control machine. And this CNC machine, there was also an advent into the particular shop floor with the advent of your robots. The robots has been introduced. The automation line has been introduced in the assembly lines. Then we also term that particular thing as flexible manufacturing system was introduced about 40 years before. And things has been started moving in a direction which we say that automation has been coming up. Okay. So now what we are talking about Industry 4.0 is another version or a higher version or applicative version of Industry 3.0, which has gone, where we already had our CNC machine, where we already had our robots installed, and the most probable Western countries which has been come up like Germany, then you have American industries, Japanese industries, where the workforce was getting downgraded, where you can say that the white collar job has increased from the blue collar jobs, and therefore the need of automation arose in the Western countries. And because of the advantages of this automation, low scrap, a very high quality of products which has been delivered, and that is why the cost management inside the industry got a boost up. And so this particular westernized idea of automation was accepted worldwide. So everybody in the world was accepting this idea, And similarly, we also have joined in India. We also have joined the automated system. We have got the machine, the CNC machines nowadays. We can see in a shop, a small scale industry. Also, we can see the CNC machines. We can see small robots which are doing the pick and place operations in the for the CNC machines in the small scale industries also. So this has already, we are also not far behind this particular Western concept, and this has also started in our country also. And now what we are aiming at the industry 4.0 is the smart factory automation. Now this is a higher version of the automation which we have seen 40 years or 30 years before. Now we are going towards an idea, if you have heard the word, that is known as computer integrated manufacturing. Now we are into an era where everything is automated. Everything is with communicating with each other. Now it's not only that the people are communicating with each other, it is also the machines which are communicating with each other. Living and non-living things are communicating with each other. This has been coming up in IoT, that is Internet of Things. And now we are more inclined towards giving a knowledge to the self knowledge to the machine itself. And as human beings are able to study things up and they can make their own conclusions with respect to complex situations. Similarly, we are now making our machine adaptable for learning their own complex problems and trying to solve them. That particular things comes under your machine learning system. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are into computer integrated manufacturing where you can operate the whole manufacturing plant or your shop floor area sitting at your home looking everything in your tablet and mobile. And my dear friend, it is not a new concept. It has already been started with Germany. You have to imagine a particular factory where a person only comes in the morning in the factory and he only starts the processes in the click of a button. He just orders whatever units he want to make and he just go to his house and relax. The next morning he comes and just pick up the products which has already been manufactured. Okay. This has already been started in Germany. A one-man company. Can you imagine these things? Now this is what is the reality. Now because the automation has got itself to a huge level, now we can't left behind the Western countries, and in this particular type of automation is also coming up in our country as well. Okay, so we'll be thinking about what this particular thing are. I have just given you information regarding the various industry, that is the revolutions differently. That is 1 to 4 we have arrived actually, and the things which are there written here, we'll be talking about that one to one, each one of them, so that the ideas regarding what this particular revolution will take place has been coming up. Okay, and the thing is that we are still in an education system, we are still learning. The things are not possible to be get changed up all of a sudden, because the technology in the world changes all of a sudden, but the education platform or the syllabus which I'm talking about, it requires time, it requires specialized treatment to change this particular syllabus. So that is why uh, we can't wait for this new words which have been coming up with respect to Industry 4.0 to come up in our syllabus and we are going to study from our college desk. It will take time. But my dear friend, this all the particular terms which I'm going to tell you about has already been arrived. They have already been functioning in multinational companies. And in order to cope up with these particular terms, we have to start understanding this thing. We have to learn by our own, even if it is not contained in the syllabus right now. But you people have to prepare yourself for this particular type of industry revolution. That is 4.0. So coming up next, what is an Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0 is in a simple word, I can say you that it is a complete application of computer systems, complete application of data systems towards automation in the manufacturing industries. And this particular thing includes all these things which are there on the screen. That is this cyber physical system, the Internet of Things, the industrial Internet of Things, the cloud computing, cognitive computing, and artificial intelligence. Okay, so here it is like if I talk about this, that what is this industry 4.0? It is nothing but communication and data exchange between machine to machine, between living to non-living things, and getting it all every processes which are coming up in the industry automated. Okay. So now what we are doing is whatever things which has been done by human beings right now, we are trying to impart every knowledge which a human brain can possess to machines. As simple as this. So this is what we are trying to do is the in the industry 4.0. So most of the people, what it is written over here, I'm going to explain these things in detail in the later slides. But for this, number one thing which you have to understand what is IoT. Now this is what is a very buzz word which has been coming up. That is Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is nothing but a communication between different aspect of living and non-living things. Now, I'll give you the best example of this IoT is, if you can see this, I'm wearing a smartwatch, okay? And this smartwatch is nowadays in very buzzword, and everybody has been using this particular smartwatch. Now, the communication which this smartwatch is making is, it can record my blood pressure right now. It can calculate my SpO2 level. It can inform me regarding how many steps I have taken in a day, and various other information this watch is giving me. Now, how it can possess this information? Because there are sensors employed in this particular watch, and this sensor, when sense my blood pressure, because it is attached to my wrist, so it is giving me all the data required. So who is making communication here? The watch sensor is communicating with my blood pressure. Okay, I'm allowing it to do that, and that is coming up with the benefits that I'm going to calculate my blood pressure level. I'm going to say what is my SpO2 level, because nowadays, because of Corona pandemic, it is very important that I should be knowing about my SpO2 level. Okay, so this all things has been giving the information by my own smartwatch. So now everything is getting smarter. Are you getting it? But it is the smartness is nothing. It is a communicating which these things are doing with my. So my watch is a non-living thing, but it is giving the communication with respect to the my living hand. Okay. So this is the best example I can give you of IoT. Then there are various other applications which has been coming up. The smart mirror system is coming up, where you have to imagine the thing that you are waking up in the morning, and the alarm clock which you are waking up has been buzzed by your mirror in your washroom. When you are going towards the mirror is talking to you. It is greeting you good morning. It has been informing on the screen that what particular temperature you are going to face in the day. Okay, and various other aspect it is going to inform. That is, it is going to communicate with you. Now, this is an example of Internet of Things, IoT. This is communication. Okay, various other things which have been coming up in the next slides. So I'm going to discuss about that. Okay, then we are now into a particular thing where you might be knowing about the word that is virtual reality, VR. Okay, you might have heard this goggles which have been coming up, or VR videos are being made up, right? This is different from the augmented reality. Now, virtual reality is where everything has been done virtually. So, what we can say, it is far away from a reality. In augmented AR view, what we are going to do is the particular data has been made in such a way that the reality of the situation is been taken into consideration, and whatever things you are putting up will be put up in the direction that it is in a very real sense. So this is the difference between VR and AR. It will also be coming up in the next slides. So all in all, we have started with this particular industry 4.0. Then these things, I think I'll go to the next slide so that we can come up with this particular thing. Okay. So we'll just uh, understand what are the functions of Industry 4.0. So we have various functions which are there in Industry 4.0. What they are, we are going to see. The first function is interoperability. It is nothing but the ability of machine, devices, sensors to communicate with each other. Okay, that is mean by the interoperability. Okay, So all the devices are connected with each other. Whatever machines which you are doing in your manufacturing industry should be connected with each other. Okay, and you should be producing the data, and the data should be generated at a very higher level. It should be processed at a very high level, and it should be distributed at a very high level, so that whichever thing or whatever thing is requiring the data should be able to get it. Okay, so this all electronic things are fusing with our mechanical things together, and they are generating a huge data. And now the next generation which is coming up will be a particular thing which we can say that the generation of data which is coming up. Okay, so now new technologies are not like we can fly in air or something, but we are generating a lot of data which can be helpful for the next generation to make new technologies. Okay, so now the most precious thing in world, previously it was gold, now it is said that data is the most precious thing in the world, which can gather you a huge amount of money. Okay, so there is a function. This function, another function is information transparency. It is also how the information is your it's able to use the application of this particular information, and how you are going to utilize your computer system to simulate and create the virtual things which has been made up, which has been came up, and how you are going to use this virtual setup for your original practical models, or how you can interpret the result of the data from this virtual system, and you can make useful this particular data for real world. Okay, so up till now there is a thing that only the 3D models which you have been using in by making your CAD, AutoCAD and all. So the next generation software, mechanical software which has came up like CATIA, ANSYS, SolidWorks, a lot of softwares are there, ProE, which are taking you towards the simulation method of this, and where you can have the various virtual calculation to be done on the particular job, and you can calculate the forces, stresses, your thermal capabilities, and every aspect of engineering and properties you can calculate on a virtual level on that particular 3D image. Okay, so now this has been coming up in the mechanical industry also. Then another function of this particular thing is your technical assistance. That now till now, what was happening is a human was if a software has to be developed for a computer system or for any other work, it is only be possible when it is intervened by the human beings. Okay, so now what we are trying to infer in this particular industry 4.0 is that the computer should support human for making the decision in the complex area. Okay, and a particular area where this thing should run, where human intervention is not possible. For example, I can give you this example of the rover which has been sent to Mars, and now the NASA has been sent that, and it is giving all the data information which is required for the scientists to move ahead in the direction of what are there in the space researches, right? So similar type of technical assistance can be given by the various computer models which has been come up. Then it is also another function of the industry 4.0 is decentralized decision. That is, uh, whenever we are into a managerial level, we know that the decision making has to be very much firm, and we can't take the risk of a wrong decision. Okay, so not only this particular system which has been come up is giving you a guidance of how to do the things, but they are also helping you to take their own decision, and more autonomy has to be generated in the process. So now what we can say that in the shop floor level, if any problem persists, so the machine itself are capable of taking their own decision rather than depending on you and closing off all the system. Okay. Previously, it was in the science that there should be a sensor system which will detect the problem, and what this sensor system will do is it will close off all the machines for safety purposes. Okay, but now what we are going in the ahead direction that it will not only sense any alarming situation, but also it should rectify the problem where the problem has been arised, and it should take its own decision and make the things correct. Okay, So this is what has been the particular thing which has been coming up from Industry 4.0. Okay. So we'll be seeing in the next discussion, that is the various components of industry, okay, 4.0, and we'll be dealing with this one by one because these are very important in order to understand what this revolution stand for. Okay, so there are these 9 different components we have, which belongs to the industry 4.0. All in all, I would just like to say that everything which is there, which you are seeing on the screen, are things which are not included right now in the syllabus in mechanical engineering. Okay, but these are the things which are the future of our own branch. Okay? So we can't say that the these things are very what we can say vague, very modern in concept. I have already told you that we are going behind. The technology comes first, and the techniques comes in the syllabus later. So we are having this particular uh, theoretical and practical gap. So this we have to cope up, and all the things which I am been telling you right now is a very much into the reality. So we'll be seeing one by one the components of this industry 4.0. So the first thing is system integration. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the system integration? Is we have to integrate everything which are there in our factory. Okay. Now, for example, always it has been found out that the sales department is working differently rather than the manufacturing department. Now, the planning, the R&D department, where the designs has been made up, the models has been made up, is working differently from the manufacturing department or the sales department, and so there is no proper platform to have their integration together. But if we can say, and there is particular term in our mechanical engineering which we use, that is concurrent engineering, where all the departments sit together and all the departments do join together and they start the production or thinking about the product together. Because the problem which are associated with the sales department and the marketing department are different from what they are associated with R&D department. Similarly, the problem which are faced by the R&D department is very different from the manufacturing department. So we have to have the particular integration of all these things together. Okay, so that the ideas which are generated are very unique and useful for the manufacturing industry. So if your complete system is integrated, the sales department can directly communicate with your R&D department. The R&D department can directly instruct the manufacturing department. The manufacturing department can instruct the quality department, and the quality department can then again back instruct to the sales department. And so in this particular communication, I think the whatever losses the company is facing will be improved in a very huge scale. Okay. So this is possible in the term which I use the revolution as industry 4.0. Okay, they are interconnected with each other in this particular thing, and no department of the industry will be lacking in communication. Okay, and this is where we are using this particular word as system integration. Okay, this is integration of all the department, not only the shop floor but also marketing. Okay, because nowadays the technology is been developing very fast. For take an example of the mobiles which have been coming up. Now every month, at least 10 to 15 mobiles are been coming up. So there is a huge competition. The mobile which you have bought in January will get obsolete in August. Okay, and even though the technological shift from 4G to 5G is taking about 4 to 5 years, but still the techniques which are been coming up in the manufacturing of mobile and the apps and the various other features they are adding up in the improvement in camera and all, they are doing it on the 15-day basis. So there is a huge interaction required from the sales department to the R&D department to the manufacturing department, that what the customer is seeking, what the competitors are doing, because now we are having 20-25 companies which are manufacturing mobiles all over in India, we can say, which mobiles we can able to buy, and there is a huge competition. A cut-off price of 100 rupees, 200 rupees to 50 rupees are there between two mobiles. And that is why it is very difficult nowadays. If your whole system is not integrated, you are not going to cope up with the global competition. because we are, as an Indian companies, have to face the global giants. So right, the companies like Samsung, Sony, and all, these are the companies which are very which has already been into a very giant position in the mobile market and all, and therefore it is very difficult for any company to lose this information. So that is why the whole companies are coming up with system integration. Okay. The next one is simulation and virtualization. Now, this is very important thing. I have just told you prior to my discussion that uh, with the advent of different softwares which has been come up for modeling and CAD designing, we are able to simulate various forces, various things which will act on this particular materials and models which we have made. But is it possible that we are able to make a virtual shop floor where virtually all the machines are working together, robots are being placed, and we can say that in this particular fashion, the working of the shop floor will take place. Okay. If we are able to do that, we can calculate the amount of things or time which is required by the operator. We can say we can calculate how many time the machine will take to manufacture the product. We can understand the various problems which are associated in the system. Okay, so we can say that whenever we are facing a problems in the software system, like the job balancing problems we are having, where the time required for some operation is more, time required by some is less, then finding the best route sheet which are required for production process is also very important. So if we are able to simulate the actual working of the physical working for the raw material in the industry, we can tackle this particular situation, and we are able to see that we are not going to make the time losses, and similarly we are not going to make the setup losses, and therefore if we are very much lowering the time required for making the manufacturing, then we can say that we'll be at par with the competition, and the quality produced by us are at the very top level. Okay, so this is gaining momentum now. Simulation and virtualization not only limited to the designing process, but it is also into the shop floor process, manufacturing process also. So another component is big data analytics. I have told you that nowadays we are coming up in a particular era where data is the most costly thing in this world. Now, if you are having a data regarding this particular thing or regarding this technology or regarding anything which you are working upon, then that can give you a huge cost. So it's not like you are having only a data will make a fruitful process, but how you are analyzing this data for the betterment of human being, that is also required. Okay, so there is not only the collection of the data is required, but the evaluation of this data and the different sources of data which has been coming up from production equipment system. Just now I have given you an example of sales and marketing, how the customer is reacting, what is it his reactions with respect to the products which you have made up, and what is his suggestion, because nowadays the market is completely customer based. Now there is no autonomy unless the government has occupied only some of the sectors like ordnance and all. Everything is getting privatized. Okay, so now there is a huge competition in every field. Now customer is determines the sell. Now no company can say that we can manufacture anything and we are able to sell in the market. It is not like that. Now customer is very important. And the communication from customer to all the factors of production which are there, that is very much essential. Okay, and for that we need to have a huge data source available with us, because customer will provide us with the data. If you do a proper analysis and evaluation of this data, we'll be able to satisfy our customers, and we'll be able to do the profit margin increase for our industry. So this is what is big data analytics. Then I have already been told you what is this Internet of Things. Okay, and there is another term which has come up, that is industrial Internet of Things. Now this communication which I have just told you by referring even to my smartwatch, which is being communicating with me all the time. Similarly, when I say that industrial Internet of Things, then I would say that there will be a huge communication of machines together, technologies together, the devices which will interact with each other. And just I have told you an example that if there is any alarming situation, the decision making has to be done at a very faster level, and this is only possible when my machines, my robots, my shop floors, my ASRS system, my automated material handling system, everything is being in communication with each other. So if it is possible, then I can say that we can go for a very much revolution in the shop floor system. Okay, so it is like we are talking about automation of everything which is included in the shop floor. Okay, so we have to go in the direction towards thinking that an industry without workers has to be made possible. Now everything has to be automated. Besides engineers, besides your R&D personnel, besides the people who are there for marketing, manufacturing should go completely automated. This is what the Industry 4.0 is aiming at. And this is possible when we are having the complete connectivity with each other. Okay. So this is what are the things which are coming up. Now the industrial automation of the automobile industry has been started, and a huge implementation of robotics and robots have been made up in the automobile industry. Okay, so right from starting from the design level of the product to the manufacturing level, now everything has to be automated, and this can be done by putting up various sensors which are able to communicate, the artificial intelligence system which will come up, the machine learning system which will come up. Everything regarding this has to be interconnected with each other, so as whatever decision a human brain can take, at the same time, the machine should be capable of taking the same decision. We are also terming this particular name in the science by the name of adaptive control. Now, our machines are able to understand or can relate to the material which it is going to cut and determine the hardness of the material which it is going to cut. And according to that, then it can make an adjustment of its speed and feed level. Okay. So what type of feed and speed level should be applied to the hardness of that material which is to be cut? And if the machine is doing that, able to do that, then the life of the tool and the machine will increase to a large level. And that all thing will add up to the profit level. Okay. So that is a term, adaptive control, which is also there, which has been coming up newly. And that is itself, we can say that how the machine intelligence we are building up. Okay. Then another component of industry is autonomous robot. This is what is very important. Now robotics is an area which is getting a very momentum, because up till now the areas which are still not explored by human beings, because there is a danger to the life of a human, where this autonomous robot can do greater part, can play a greater part in this particular science, and the information they can carry towards us, so that without losing any human being, this robot can give us the same feedback as what has been given by the human beings. And similarly, now the intention with this computer integrated manufacturing system, flexible manufacturing systems, are that we are slowly and slowly removing the intervention of human being into the shop floor system. Okay, and how this is possible? You might have heard the term this artificial intelligence system, which has been completely a mathematics statistical oriented thing, where the fuzzy logic has been developed for the robot to perform. Now I'll give you a small example. If how this particular artificial intelligence and the fuzzy logic works upon. Whenever we are a small child, and if we have what we can say, if a mosquito comes and bite us, and even if we are just 2-3 years old, we are able to make action regarding that. Either we are going to cry aloud, or we are going to remove, or we are going to shake our hand so that the mosquito should get away from us. Okay, this is in general. Nobody has taught you this in the world. Okay, we come up with this particular sensor system by birth. Okay, our neurons in our brain, which gives the direction and communication throughout the body to the brain, this is very natural. Okay, so we all human beings are born and brought up with this intelligence. Now, if a robot has been working in the manufacturing industry and a program has been done for it to just pick and place a device from one place to another, okay, and even if you are giving the optical system and all, and you are teaching the robot to replace the rectangular thing to the circular thing only. Now, if you do one thing, that if you are not placing the job in his hand of the robot is going to come again at that particular position. It will find that there is no work part is there to lift. It will go back to its original position. Again, it will come back to this position. We'll see that whether there is a particular workplace is there. It will come back up again. Okay, it will do it thousand of times, but it is not going to communicate to you that there is something wrong with this particular system. Okay, it is not going to give you alarm that there is no job for me to lift. Okay, and this is the problem which is solved by artificial intelligence. So even if there are particular things which are not being programmed for the robot, still robot can take its own decision and provide the data with this particular complex situation. So this is what I'm talking about, the autonomous robots. It's nothing but the capabilities of this robot to think and understand the particular positions which are not included in their programs. So for this, the fuzzy logic, the statistics, the mathematics, the artificial intelligence, all which is including all these things are being into a very greater use nowadays. Okay, so this is about autonomous robot. Then augmented reality, I have told you just now that we are having two particular things which we know by the name of VR, that is virtual reality, and then we have augmented reality. Virtual reality, you have seen that we are having a goggles available nowadays where we can put up our own self in the three-dimensional area. Okay, but that virtual reality is virtual only; it is not real one. But when I'm talking about augmented reality, it is providing us the real environmental situation, and it is providing us the effective manner which allows the human to better interact and integrate with the electronic system. So there is no virtual thing which is there in VR. It is a real situation where we are tackling these things. So this particular AR can helps to create the various simulation model and can able to help the various information related to that particular thing to be performed. And because of this AR system, we are able to find out what are the flaws which can be generated in the shop floor system. What are the things which can be a bottlenecks in the production process before actual starting that particular process or coming up with that particular manufacturing physically. We are able to locate it in the virtual sense by using the augmented reality things. Okay, so it is a brilliant way to bridge the knowledge gap in the workers, and we can make them more productive, because already what are the problems these people are going to face in the shop floor, we are already going to take that into augmented reality mode. Okay, so before starting the production, actually we'll be able to notify what will be the exact bottlenecks which are coming up in the shop floor. So this is possible when we are going for the augmented reality mode. Then cloud computing. Now everybody is being talking about this cloud. Okay. Initially, whenever we used to have, or whenever we go for buying a laptop or computer system, we always ask about what is the hard disk, how much the data it can store possibly. So nowadays the laptops are coming up with 2 TB and 3 TB data storing. But now the new concept has been come up, that is cloud. Okay. Just similarly, our cloud which hold or take the water along with them, and they flow with air, and whenever the density is there, as the temperature of that particular area requires them to burst, we get it in the form of rain. Similarly, this particular thing is coming. So this cloud is a cloud of information. This cloud is a cloud of data which is stored in the cloud, and this cloud is able, the data in the cloud is able to get captured by anyone who is needing it inside the organization, who is actually having the authenticity to use the particular data. Okay, and they can have various remote servers to be used based on the internet system, so they can store your data on that particular cloud. It can be used by the people who are permissible to use it, and similarly the cloud way float from one area to another. Similarly, the data information which is processed inside this cloud can be undertaken by the whole of the organization. So now every company is buying this cloud for their own organization. Every information is in put up in the cloud, and anywhere the information is needed, where a particular people are struggling for a problem, for a data that this is being held up, a work has been held up, some design has been held up, some particular system has been held up, can be gathered from this particular cloud without many, or without, we can say, more permissible issues. Okay, so we don't have to go into the hierarchy that, okay, whether I'm able to get this cloud computing, please inform me. I'm writing a particular application to someone, then he will going to proceed that application forward in the managerial level. Then managerial will decide whether this information to be processed should be given to this person or not. It is not like that. If it is on the portal of, it is on the cloud of your organization, your people in the organization working can take use of that organization, that particular data, for instance. Okay, so this machine data, everything which are required, the CNC programs, the various type of information, the bill of materials of the program, various data which is concerned to the raw materials, finished part, semi-finished part, all can be contained in this particular cloud. Okay, so this is also very new term, and nowadays you might have heard about the new engineers requirement which are coming up for the company, and the name of this is data engineers. Now these are the people who are managing this data, providing this data, and analyzing this data, and they are making sure that the data, whenever is required, is readily made available. Okay, so this is another thing, that is cloud computing. Then we are into an era of additive manufacturing. You all might have come up, you all might have seen this is 3D printing, which has been very much popular nowadays for building prototypes, small products. Okay, and with this particular additive manufacturing system, uh, we are able to use small batches production. We can do small things, we can produce at a very accurate level. These machines are able to produce the particular very complex parts, and which are not being possible by human beings, or such a cut is not being possible by the traditional manufacturing process which we used in the workshop. So what we are having is, we are having this particular machines which are come up. Now I don't know whether you know or not, but with the help of 3D printing, now in Western countries a complete home is being made up. Okay, so it is not like a small products which has been made up by the 3D printing technology. Nowadays in America, I have seen a video where a complete home is being made up by using this particular technology. So now this, the additive manufacturing, the 3D printing, all these things are been getting very much momentum in the next revolution of manufacturing engineering. Okay, and because of their what we can say, their advantages, their lightweight, their design advantages, I told you that any type of complex geometry can be processed. Now with the help of 3D printing, we are making our human bones. Okay, and that human bones can be directly fitted to the human body. And initially, when there used to be an accident undertaken, and then we used to implant the plates, the steel plates, which are we used to implant in place of the human bones. Now, this particular additive manufacturing, we are using a various high quality of polyethylene material which are being used up, and these plastics materials which are being come up, and they possess the advantages of a very real bone, and where the muscles can get captured by this bone, and a man, even if the bone is replaced by an artificial bone, still he is not having any problem in walking, standing, or sitting. So nowadays, with this particular technology and the nanotechnology which has been gaining momentum, new and new material which are been coming up, we can say that there will be a time which will come up where we are going to manufacture our own body parts. So a liver can be made, a heart can be made, everything, whatever we are having in a human body can be replaced if new materials has been found up, because 3D printing technology is able to make any complex geometry required. Now, this is also a concrete thing which is going on. Now we are, and as a mechanical engineering, are working with the health industries nowadays. So the doctors call the mechanical engineers now, and they give the size of the bone, because every human being is having different sizes of bones with each other than any other, and so then the engineers sit with them together and they are making the bones. They are manufacturing the bones. So this is also a very new area which will be coming up in the next future. I have told you that it is not only the branches of engineering which are interacting with each other, but it is other branches other than engineering also interacting. Now, the health industry is interacting, the agriculture science is interacting with mechanical engineering. Okay, the complete medicinal things, your your hospital beds, your hospital equipments, your ventilators for that sake, which has been very much used in demand nowadays because of the pandemic. This all has been made up by the mechanical engineers only. So new era has been coming up. So there is nothing like we are going to get finished, or the mechanical engineer's demand is going to get finished. No, as long as human beings are there, the mechanical engineer will always persist. Okay. Then another important issue in this, the component of industry, is the cyber security. Now, because we are gathering data, we are doing a lot of work, we are calculating different things. Our people are been working for that. Then there are costs associated with the data which is there. But there is also a threat which are there, that cyber security concern is much more nowadays. Okay. So there should be system engineers which are able to cope up with any leakage of the data from the cloud, and every industry is very much responsible for making their own data available in their organization, and that is why they buy their own cloud space. Okay, so every industry has their own cloud space. Now, for example, if we are having a huge giant industries, mechanical engineering industries which are there, they, all the machines or all the products which they made is custom made. Okay. So they are only responsible for their design, and they don't want them to get leak. They don't want them to share with other industry, because this is what make their products unique. Okay. So this is a constant threat for the manufacturing industry, that if the leakage and break of this data is at most important. Okay. So therefore, we require very much cyber analyst, computer analyst, which will be able to secure the communications, and also they'll be able to make this communication sophisticated, and there has to be the access management of machines and users. Their interaction together with each other should be made possible. So there has to be, in the manufacturing industry, the need of cyber expert people for this particular purpose. Okay. So I think these were the components which are there in the next industrial revolution. Now we'll be talking about the application and benefits. This industry 4.0. Now I have already told you the component itself. Every time we'll be discussing the benefits which are there with respect to this industry 4.0, the productivity, the production process, communication will geared up. The losses which up till now the company has been making has been lessened. The quality will increase to a very huge level, and the demand, because the customer suggestions, sales, marketing, and every department is being clubbed together. So the customer is going to be make a loyal customer base with your company, and therefore the revenue of the company is going to get in a very manifold growth. Okay, and similarly, when we are going to cope up with the knowledge which is required for industry 4.0, there will be a huge rise in the employment level also. So whatever, we are not saying that if you are working for a manufacturing industry and you need to acquire the knowledge of some of the computer system. So it is not possible for a computer engineer to work in the manufacturing industry, but it is possible by a mechanical engineer to acquire some of the knowledge required by the computer expert and then get entry into the manufacturing industry. Okay, because manufacturing industry is going to need the mechanical engineers only, but with the additional qualification ahead. Okay, already there are hundreds of giants, bigger companies, trillion-dollar companies have been come up with already position has been established, new branches has been developed for the need of this industry 4.0, and many things which will come up again, and therefore there will always be a rise in there is always been a rise in the employment level also. So there is no need to fear for this automation. For an engineer or a mechanical engineer, there will always be a rise in the employment, whatever automation takes place. Okay. Then similarly, this has been discussed in a very detailed thing that in the next 5 to 10 years, I told you that industry 4.0 will be incorporated by many companies, and maybe another 10 years it will be incorporated by 90%, 95% of the companies which will has to do that. And with this benefit, initially every company disagrees because it requires a huge investment. So no company will readily accept this. Just like no companies have accepted the advent of CNC machine in their manufacturing firm. They were reluctant, but now every industry is purchasing CNC, and more CNC are being taken up. Okay. Then the production processes which are going up will be optimized through this integrated information technological systems. Okay, so there has to be an optimization by using this. Optimization is nothing but the best possible method of doing the production. So it is possible when everything is connected and communicated. So the manufacturing cell idea will goes up, will be replaced, and it will be implemented by the integrated production line. Just what I have given you an example of the particular word, that is computer integrated manufacturing. Okay. Then another advantage will be production processes, production automation, all will go virtually, and you don't need to do the thing or trial and error things which you don't do it actually. Now there is a virtual platform for the shop floor which you can see, and accordingly you can do the thing and you can check out for yourself whether the system which you have developed is been working or will work fine or not. Okay. Then you don't need to carry out the physical prototypes. You don't need to take out the real material or real material things to check. Okay, they can be done virtually. Okay, so the cost associated with the destruction of this particular physical things will get minimized. Okay. Flexibility will increase. Manufacturing processes will be such like different types of jobs can be taken into consideration. Okay. You'll be able to cope up with the various types of products, the complex geometries of the manufacturing parts you can do. Okay, and the robots, the smart machine, everything will be communicate with each other. Human intervention will minimize. Okay. So then you have manufacturing processes enhanced through learning and self-optimization equipment, and they will be trying to adjust their own parameters, just like I have told you about the adaptive control system, where machine is able to cope up with its own performing parameters. Okay. Then we have improved flexibility, speed, quality. Then automated logistics using autonomous vehicles and robot. I have told you when we talk about CIM, everything is automated. So we have automated storage and retrieval system. We have the particular automated vehicles, guided vehicles, AGVs, which we call. So there is no need for any humans to process the work manually. Okay. Data, supply chain data is readily controlled. The things and delivery, manufacturing things, where the products are needed, when it is needed, so that the customary weight is not desired. So all these things are taken to be care when we have we are having a 24/7 communicating channels open between the customers, the marketing, the sales, the manufacturing, and the R&D. Okay. Then computer control, so all the activities are coming up, but there is a need to see whether these activities are going on in a way we want or not. So that is why a control parameter has to be introduced. So that is also automated thing, computer control, which will always monitor hourly basis, half hourly basis, day basis, monthly basis, 15-day basis, whatever the manufacturing is being going on. Okay, so customer and revenue growth, which I have just told you that industry 4.0 will drive the revenue growth. I have just told you how it is going to do, because now with this particular advent, we are not only going to reduce our losses, scraps which we are about to make or something, but we are going to increase our profits, because the loyalty of the customer is what we are going to establish. You might have seen in America, if you go, I was there in US. I did my Lean Six Sigma Black Belt and Green Belt there, as it was associated with my PhD. And I was there in Pennsylvania State, and there I have seen that people only buy two kind of mobiles there. One is iPhone, and another one is Samsung. And we know that the prices of iPhone and Apple laptops are huge as compared to different other products. But this is what is the loyalty of a particular customer. Even if the company is charging much and the similar products are available in the market, still the customer goes for that particular product only. That is what we call by the name of customer loyalty. And if your company operating on Industry 4.0 is able to establish this loyalty, customer loyalty, then we can say that we'll be able to have a customer base, and similarly we'll be able to increase the profit. Okay. And all in all, we can say employment, yes, there is a huge requirement of employment of mechanical engineering now will come up with the industry. My guess is that this pandemic is going to end very soon, I suppose. And once this pandemic gets end, everything will get into normal position, and the employment and the industries will again start working. But now they have to work accordingly the guidance of the Industry 4.0. Okay. So there is always will be a demand of mechanical engineers, definitely. Only the thing is you have to add in your skill set. Okay. Like I have told you that you need to have the computer knowledge. You need to have some language skills which is required. Like for example, we have the knowledge of Python, the new machine learning language which has been came up. Okay, the language SQL, Java. These all are the language. Now, one thing is required, that at least the Python language has to be studied by the mechanical engineer, because this is an easy language at a starting level, and if you want to do the mastery, then it is really difficult. But it is the basic of this Python language is required for a machine learning process nowadays, and artificial intelligence also. So this is the thing, that it is going to get a huge employment. The countries with high cost labor will be able to capitalize, and more smart Western countries will come up. Skilled labor is required, and skilled people are required with the computer domain knowledge along with mechanical engineering. So this is only the difference which has been put up by the use of Industry 4.0. And you don't have to wait for this particular language, Python language or something, to come up in your syllabus right now. Okay? Don't just wait for that. Start your own preparation. Okay, do your own diplomas, start your own preparation for that language. Okay, so this is special thanks I would like to mention Mr. Himanshu Lanjewar, my student, who has.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I'm sincerely thankful to Dr. Pankaj on behalf of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University. And it was such a wonderful session. Many things we got to know, and we got to learn about a lot of things from your session. And we wish the same cooperation from your side in the future as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And see you soon, I hope.
Yeah.
with the new topic if you require. Okay, so should I leave, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much.